عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I'll continue tonight, inshallah ta'ala, talking about Sirat Amir al-Mu'mineen Uthman bin Affan radiyallahu anhu wa ardah. And I think this lesson and the next two lessons is very important because I will explain inshallah in details according to the authentic resources about the fitna which happened in the last 5-6 years of the life of Uthman radiallahu anhu, and unfortunately it ended with the killing of Uthman radiallahu anhu. So in the last lesson I spoke about some of the reasons which caused the fitna, and I'll start tonight by mentioning a very, very important cause of the fitna, and it is a person called Abdullah bin Sahaba. And Abdullah bin Sahaba is a Jew who became a Muslim, and he was in Egypt at that time. And some of the resources called him Ibn Sawda, the son of the black woman. And you can see from the ideas that he started that the aim was destroying Islam. And the conway that he used is to try to show the people that he is a person who's ordering or enjoying good, forbidding evil. A person that he's claiming that he is talking in favor of Islam, in favor of people. He is raising some concerns of some people at that time. And he used some ideas which I will explain it at the beginning, to say that Uthman radiallahu anhu, he has no right to be a Khalifa for many reasons, in his opinion, or what he's claiming. And also, the Khalifa should be Ali radiallahu anhu, not Uthman. Now, when we come to this personality, Abdullah bin Sahaba, we'll find some of the historians, especially new historians, few, very few, trying to say no, Abdullah bin Sahaba they didn't exist. It is a personality that some people imagined it to try to justify what happened in the time of Uthman, then in the time of Ali radiallahu anhu. Because the impact of the plots of Abdullah bin Sahaba caused the fitna in Uthman's time, and then it caused the fitna in the times of Ali. So his role was in the two periods. And particularly the Shia, these days, they are trying their best to say Abdullah ibn Sahaba is a person created by the Sunni historians, trying to say, okay, Ali doesn't have any right, and all these problems happened because of a person. And they are saying then, how can all these things happen because of a person? And it seems that these people, they don't read the history. When you look at many things in the history, you'll find it starts from a person. Look at all the ideas. Now, when they talk about the Second World War, which name comes?
Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler. So if Hitler wasn't there and his ideas that the superiority of the Germans and Nazi and all of these things, maybe the whole thing didn't happen. And in many places, in revolutions, in ideas, Marx, Lenin, and all of these things, there is a person. You cannot say, no, we cannot explain a lot of things which happened in a certain period of time because of a person. No, this is not right. You'll find a person, he starts and he has a charisma and some ideas, start to talk to people, the people convince what he is saying, then after that you'll find the people following that person and it continued. And this is what happened regarding Bedford. So what they are saying that most of the narration about Abdullah ibn Saba mentioned in Ibn Asakir and Tabari, and they talking about main narrator called Saif bin Umar, and they are saying this Saif bin Umar is not authentic and something like this. And Sheikh Al-Albani rahmatullah alayh, he checked these narrations and he proved that the narration about Abdullah ibn Saba are authentic narrations. And there is a book which is, or a research done by Dr. Salman bin Awla. He's a well-known scholar in Saudi Arabia. And in that book, according to many narrations and many historical resources, he proved that Abdullah ibn Saba is there. And also, you will find that even the Shia themselves, in their old books, they are talking about Abdullah ibn Saba, which I'll mention some of them. So here I'll just mention some of those who mentioned Abdullah ibn Saba. Asha Hamadan, who died in 83, he spoke about him. And Shabi, who died 103, he said that also Abdullah ibn Saba was there. And there is an authentic narration saying that Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu burned some of the followers of Abdullah ibn Saba because they came and they said Ali ibn Abi Talib is God. So when they claimed that and he asked them, they said, yes, you are God. So he said, how can you do this? And he burned them, which is an authentic narration which is mentioned in many books. Ibn Hajar, the one who well known when it comes to what they call it Ilm al-Rijal, the science of the narrations, he said Abdullah ibn Saba min ghulat al-Zanadiqa. So Abdullah ibn Saba is one of the extremist Zanadiqa, and he said he has followers they called as-Saba'iyya, and they believe that Ali ibn Abi Talib is God. And he mentioned that Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, he burned them in his Khilafah. And Ibn Saba, he mentioned in the books of, as I said, what they call it al-Jarh wa-Ta'dil, which talks about the people who narrated, and Al-Kalbi, who is one of the narrators, he was one of the followers of Abdullah ibn Saba, and some of them, they said Ali radiallahu anhu, he didn't die, and he's coming again before the Day of Judgment. And he said that some of them, when they see a cloud, they say, okay, Abdullah ibn Saba is there. And Ibn Asakir, who died in 571, he said Abdullah ibn Saba, which you will find the Saba'iyya related to him, they are the extreme Shia. He's originally from Yemen, and he was a Jew, and he claimed that he's a Muslim. Then they mentioned many narration about him. Ibn Taymiyyah, rahmatullah alayh, he spoke about him, and the Shatibi spoke about that. So this is the Sunni resources. The Shia resources, Kushi, he narrated from Muhammad bin Qulawiyya. He said that Affan bin Uthman said, I heard Abu Abdullah saying, La'an Allah Abdullah ibn Saba. So Affan bin Uthman, he's the son of Uthman radiallahu anh. He said that I heard Abu Abdullah saying, may Allah curse Abdullah ibn Saba, because he's the one who claimed that Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anh is God. And Ali ibn Abi Talib, he never claimed that he's God. This is a big lie that he can say. So this is about his personality, that he was there, and where is he from, and the books that spoke about him. Now Abdullah ibn Saba, as I said, he started in Egypt. And how he started? He started with claiming that Ali ibn Abi Talib is wasi. Wasi means that he is the one that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said he will be the heir after me, or he will be the Khalifa after me. And he said also Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is coming back. And he used the ayah in Surah Al-Qasas, إِنَّ الَّذِي فَرَضَ عَلَيْكَ الْقُرْآنَ لَرَادُكَ إِلَى مَعَادٍ. The one who revealed the Quran to you will bring you. And he said this means that he will bring you back, but actually this is not the meaning of this ayah. The meaning is that al-ma'ad here is the Day of Judgment, which is very, very clear meaning. And he said that there was 1,000 prophets, and every prophet has wasi. So the one who will carry the Khilafah or lead the Ummah after him. And he said Ali radiallahu anh is wasi Muhammad. He is the one who's following, the one who has the right to be after Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he said Muhammad khatam al-anbiya wa Ali khatam al-awsiya. So Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the seal of the prophets, and Ali radiallahu anh is the seal of al-awsiya. So this was the argument. And so when the people start to accept this idea, which is according to many people, it is just an idea. It doesn't have political impact. Just to talk about Ali in a very high way. So even many people, simple Muslims at that time, they didn't think too much about this. But that was the seed of the next step. The next step, that, okay, Ali wasi. And he spoke to the people, and some people believed in that, Ali wasi. Okay, now Ali wasi. Why you didn't accept the wasaya of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So how come you agree that Ali is the wasi, and now Ali is sitting at home and Uthman is the Khalifa. Is this how we respect the Prophet ﷺ? Is this how we believe in the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ? We are actually committing a major sin. Why? Because we are not practicing or following wasiyyat al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So you can see how the first step started, and then he moved the second step. Now, if you believe in this now, this means that Uthman, as they call muqtasid, Uthman is the one who took this position, and he has no right on this. And when you think about it, brothers and sisters, you can see that Abdullah ibn Saba, or his followers, or the people behind him, they were not able to do this in the time of Umar, for example. Why? Because Umar came after Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and it was clear that the Ummah agreed, and also Umar radiallahu anhu was very strong and just, so no one complaining. But in the time of Uthman, because as I mentioned last week, there were some complaints, some mistakes, small mistakes, making it bigger from some people. Now, and if you remember how Uthman became Khalifa, because Uthman and Khalifa were finally the two candidates, and when Abdurrahman ibn Auf radiallahu anhu consulted the people at that time, and he found that the majority of the people with Uthman radiallahu anhu. So he used all these circumstances to try to convince the people that, look, Uthman took it, while it should be to whom? To Ali radiallahu anhu. And now this is a matter of deen now. It is not the way that he was presenting it. It is a matter of deen. It is not something that we can accept it, we can deal with it. No. We cannot accept as believers, as followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that there is, al-wasi is sitting and another person, he's ruling. And because we have to apply al-amr bil-ma'ruf and nahy al-munkar, enjoin good, forbid evil, we have to make a move. And the move is to give the right to whom? To Ali ibn Abi Talib. So you can see now how he tried to present the whole case in his opinion against Uthman. And obviously the idea, for Abdullah ibn Saba, he doesn't care about Ali or Uthman or anyone. The idea is to destroy the Islamic empire at that time, I can say, because as you know, in any country, when the fitna start, when there is like civil war start, then that nation, that country will vanish. Doesn't matter how you can deal with it. And we can see it clearly these days. Just give you an example. Iraq. Iraq in the time of Saddam, I never supported Saddam and his ruling and the oppression that he practiced. But Saddam was ruling the country, that everything was going well. So the people enjoying a lot of things. You'll find thousands of people coming to this country to study, and he was doing a lot of things for his country. Then they made him to involve in the first war with Iran, then with Kuwait, and all of these things. Anyway, so they destroyed Saddam Hussein. And they said, we brought democracy. Look at Iraq. Saddam Hussein fell in 2003, and now we are in 2016, 13 years. Iraq selling, I think, maybe 1 million barrels a day. And when the petrol at that time, the oil was about $100. So you are talking about 100 million pounds or dollars every day. Now, Iraq is a very poor country. Since 2003 until now, there isn't any improvement. And the civil war is there. Every day, what you hear, when you hear the news about Iraq, killing. Bomb here, bomb there. And they are talking about dividing Iraq, part for the Shia, part for the Sunnah, part for the Kurds. I give you an example. When they try to destroy a country. To destroy a country, what you need? To plant fitna between the people themselves, to start to fight themselves. So the same in Syria, the same in Egypt, same in Libya, Yemen. So all these examples gives us a good idea about what happened in the time of Uthman. So the country was booming, Islam moving very quickly, North Africa, Syria, Iraq, all these countries. And the people can see the benefit of the deen, everything. So, and then the people in Medina, Mecca, or even these countries, Egypt and others, they are enjoying their life. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And this obviously will not make the Jews, the Christians, the Majus, the Persians, and I mentioned the Christians, the Romans at that time. Obviously, they are not happy with what they are seeing. They like to do something. And Abdullah ibn Saba was one of the tools to do this. So, Abdullah ibn Saba started to write to people in other countries, in other areas. So he started to write to the people in Iraq, in Syria, in Medina in itself, in Kufa, in Basra, and there is people who convinced with his ideas, they start to write to him back, and in a way, I can say, they established an organization. And this organization has followers in Kufa, in Basra, in Yemen, in Egypt. And what this organization was the target, the objective of this organization, to destroy the Islamic country at that time. And these people, which will come to their details in a minute, inshallah, they started to make any simple thing very big. You see, like the media these days against Muslims, just one small news, which might happen on the north or in the east or the west, they make it what? The headlines. Everyone talk about it. Until you'll find the people, they say, oh, is this happening from Muslims in our country? But if another person doing the same thing, and they are not Muslims, you might find it on inside the newspaper in a small print, and no one talk about it. Even the TV, the radio, they will not talk about it at all. But when a Muslim doing this, and we can see this every day. So they use the same technique. That when there is something happening from anyone, mistake, it might happen from anyone, then they try to make it big and big and talk about it to convince the people that all the matters is not right. Now, if you remember in previous lesson, when we spoke about Al-Walid bin Uqba, so they spoke about him and he's drinking. So they managed to move Al-Walid bin Uqba from Al-Kufa. So Uthman radiallahu anhu appointed Sa'id bin al-As. So Sa'id bin al-As became Wali al-Kufa, the governor of Al-Kufa. When Sa'id bin al-As radiallahu anhu came to Al-Kufa, he went to the minbar, and after he praised Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, "Wallahi laqad bu'ithtu ilaykum wa inni lakari." By Allah, I've been sent to you and I don't like this. But when Uthman radiallahu anhu ordered me to do this, I found that I cannot say no. And I can see that the fitna is starting here in Al-Kufa. And my duty is to kill this fitna bi'idhnillah, or maybe this fitna will kill me. So either I kill it or this fitna will kill me. And he started searching and finding out what's going on in Al-Kufa. And he found that the matters in Kufa is very bad. So there is people talking about Uthman, people putting doubts about Uthman, people raising these ideas that Abdullah ibn Saba talking about. So the whole situation is not very good at all. So Sa'id ibn al-As now he has to write to whom? To Uthman radiallahu anhu. And he explained to him, this is the current situation in Al-Kufa. And one of the things he noticed that who's the main speakers and those who are for everything jump and start talk, like some people they call them al-ghawgha, like the hooligans, you know the hooligans, similar to them, and a lot of these Bedouins. And the Bedouins at that time are people very harsh with no knowledge and very stubborn and ready to fight all the time. So if it is haq or batil, truth or false, they are ready to fight. The idea is that to fulfill their desires. And he noticed, Sa'id ibn al-As, that the Sahaba, the righteous people, the people who done a lot of good to serve Islam, they are in the back now. No one listened to them. And they have no value among these people. So who's in the lead? Al-Ghawgha and these Bedouin. So all these situations, Sa'id ibn al-As radiallahu anhu wrote to Uthman radiallahu anhu, this is the situation. So Uthman radiallahu anhu, he wrote to him back and he said to him, you have to put things in the right order. How to put the things in the right order? Bring back all these Sahaba, all those righteous people, all those who served Islam, put them in the front and make them the people who has the say, and consult them and seek their support. So change the whole situation. And make those people who, the hooligans and the Bedouins, in the back to follow those righteous people. And remember to put every person on his right place. So Sa'id ibn As radiallahu anh, he followed the instructions of Uthman radiallahu anh, and he started to seek all these people who has, as I said, served Islam, the Sahaba, the righteous people, and put them in the front. So when there is a majlis, meeting, or in the masjid, so the people who will be around Sa'id ibn As will be those people. And the others who used to be in the back, in the front, became now where? In the back. And after a few weeks, the things a little bit settled down, and people now started to have a relief, because they were suffering from that situation when they find themselves under the oppression of these ghawwa. They just rebel against everything, and with screaming and loud voices. Now they can see, when they'd like to discuss a matter, there is people with wisdom, with knowledge, they are talking. And Sa'id ibn As, when he put the things in order, he said that this is what we will continue, inshallah. Uthman, he said, يا أهل المدينة إن الناس قد تحركوا للفتنة فاستعدوا لمواجهتها واستمسكوا بالحق وسوف أخبركم بأخبارها وأقول لكم أولا بأول. So Uthman radiallahu anhu, because the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him that there will be fitna, so he knows that there's something going to happen. So he said to the people in Medina, there is people, they are preparing for the fitna, get ready for it, stick to the truth, and I will tell you. Now after a few weeks of this, these Gawwa and the Arab, when they notice that the things is not the same, now there's few people, there is different people in the front, they started questioning, why you brought these people? Look, we are serving Islam, we are enjoying good, forbidding evil, there is a lot of mistakes and all of these things. Try to make just, they call it بالعربي تشويش, just disturbing the people. And they started making a lot of rumors and try to spread hate for Uthman radiallahu anh, for Sa'id ibn al-As radiallahu anh. But what they notice the people, the general public, they are not listening to them. They tried, it didn't work. So they now changed their plan. They changed their plan because they noticed that the people, they are not accepting what they are saying. So if they keep talking about this thing, then the people, they might just kick them out, and then all the plan will be destroyed. So they started to make their plot, and they start to contact the Jews, the Christians, the Majus, and add to anything, as I said to you, any mistake might happen, add a lot of false news about it. So the people, when they hear it, they became very angry against Uthman and against Sa'id ibn al-As radiallahu anhu. So as I said earlier, they established their organization, and this organization started in Al-Kufa, and it has branches in Al-Kufa, Al-Basra, Egypt, Syria, and Al-Madinah Al-Munawwara. Abdullah ibn Saba, as I mentioned earlier, he was the leader of this, and he said to them, work hard on this, and the first thing to do is to rebel against al-wula, the governors, and use the method of enjoining good, forbidding evil. Say that we are moving, we are talking because we love you. We cannot agree that these people suffering because of Uthman, because Sa'id ibn al-As, because of the other people. And try to move or to push for Azil Uthman, which means that force Uthman to step down. And remember again, brothers and sisters, they are using what? To do all of these things, what they call it, al-amr bil-ma'ruf, nahy an-munkar. So they show that they are righteous people, they are people who are concerned about Islam, concerned about the deen. And they started to make a lot of stories, a lot of propaganda, and they write to each other. So what will happen? So I'll give you an example. The people of Al-Kufa, they write to the people of Basra. They say, our situation is so bad, the people, they don't have their rights, they cannot do this, the governor is doing this and that, so the situation is very bad and maybe a revolution might happen at any minute. So they will write to the people of Basra. Al-Basra, when they receive the letter, they say, oh, alhamdulillah, we are not in the same situation. We have some, so let us talk to the people in a way that we don't want to reach the level of Ahl al-Basra. They will write to the people in Egypt and so on. So in a way, you'll find they try to create an atmosphere that everything is going bad and we cannot bear all the things which is happening, and we have to make a change. And this change, that we don't listen to these wula, the governors, and who appointed this wula? Uthman. So he is the main problem. We have to move him himself, then everything will be in the right place. Abdullah ibn Saba now started himself to make some movements. And the first movement, where he went? To Sham, Syria. Who was ruling Sham, Syria at that time? Muawiyah. He was ruling it in a way, he knows what's going on. So when Abdullah ibn Saba started to spread his fitna, he found Muawiyah there, so he fell. Then he moved to where? To Al-Basra. The wali of Al-Basra, the governor of Basra, I'd like you to remember the words, Al-Wali. It's easy for me to keep saying Al-Wali. Al-Wali was Abdullah ibn Amir ibn Qurayz. And Abdullah ibn Amir was a person, a just person, righteous person, and everything in his ruling was very, very good, and the people happy with what he's doing. So Abdullah ibn Saba, he went, and when he arrived there, he came to a person called Hakim bin Jabala. So I'd like you to remember some of the names. Hakim bin Jabala. Who's Hakim bin Jabala? Hakim bin Jabala was a thief. And he's not a normal thief. He's a thief that he's using every opportunity to steal, and he tried to make gangs who's doing troubles and these things. So only the best way to describe him, that he's a troublemaker. So, and he can make the troubles in different ways. So when Abdullah ibn Saba went to Al-Basra, where did he go? To Hakim bin Jabala. Now Hakim bin Jabala, he was so happy to receive Abdullah ibn Saba. So he's a thief, troublemaker, and Abdullah ibn Saba started to, put the poison. So shaitan mixed now with a small shaitan. And Hakim bin Jabala's house now became the center of the fitna in Al-Basra. Now, Abdullah ibn Amr, he heard that there is a strange person came to Hakim bin Jabala. So he called him, and he said to him, "What's this?" He said, "Just a friend. He came, and there's a friend comes to me. I cannot say to him no." He said, no, you have to move him. He cannot stay here. So they forced him to move from Al-Basra. And one of the things that Hakim Jabala he used to do, that Abdullah ibn Amr, this great wali at that time, he used to send people for the jihad in different places. So when he sent, for example, 2-3 armies or small armies from there, then you will find Al-Basra became less people. So who will be left? The old people, the children and the women. And that was a very good opportunity for Hakim bin Jabal to commit his thefts, because there is no people to fight him. And he used to spread corruption. And also he will attack the Christians and the Jews. And again, this to spread the fitna. Because now these Christian Jews, they are protected because they are Ahl Dhimma. And the ruling is that Ahl Dhimma, they have full protection from the Islamic country. Now when they find a Muslim he is coming and take their properties and attack them, what they will start saying, Muslims, they are attacking us. They will not say a thief doing this. So they will come and complain to Abdullah ibn Amr, then after that to Uthman radiallahu anhu. So Abdullah ibn Amr, he took a decision that he employed on him house curfew, so that he has to stay at home and he's not allowed to leave his house at all. And when, as I said, Abdullah ibn Saba came, he started to work with him and bring some people to join him. As I said, Abdullah ibn Amr forced Abdullah ibn Saba to leave Al-Basra. So where did he go now? He went to Al-Kufa. You see? Egypt, Syria, Al-Basra, Al-Kufa. When he went to Al-Kufa, he found some people, they already troublemakers, so they invited him and they start to plan with him and all of these things. Now Sa'id ibn As, he knew about him, so he ordered him to leave Al-Kufa. Where did he go? To Egypt. when he went to Egypt, Egypt at that time was a place that it is easy to spread anything you want in that place. So he worked freely and started to collect a lot of people around him. And he was, during this time, writing to the people in Kufa, in Basra, in Syria, in Medina, and all these movements took about 6 years. So they started in the year 30, and in 35 they managed to kill Al-Khalifa Uthman radiallahu anhu. How the fitna started in Al-Kufa. One day in year 33, Sa'id ibn al-As radiallahu anhu, he was sitting in his majlis, and most of the people there, the people he consulted, the righteous people, the Sahaba, they were talking and discussing. So some of these Khawarij, we can call them now, they came to the meeting. And they started the fitna from there. So what happened? So Sa'id al-As was talking, and there was a person called Khunais ibn Hubaysh al-Asadi. There was discussion between Sa'id ibn al-As and Khunais ibn Hubaysh. And they disputed, they don't agree on a matter. And 7 of these Khawarij were there. And their names are Jundub al-Azadi. And Jundub, his son was killed because he was involved in killing. And there is another person, you will find his name keeps mentioning later, called Al-Ashtar al-Nukha'i. Al-Ashtar al-Nukha'i. And the other one is Ibn al-Kuwa and Sa'sa'a bin Sawhan. And Sa'sa'a bin Sawhan later became their speaker. So what they did, these people, to show that they are supporting Khunais, he has a dispute with Sa'id ibn al-As. And he was talking to him, it was a discussion. So they stood up and they went to Khunais and started to hit him. Why you are talking to Sa'id ibn al-As like this? So actually they are against Sa'id ibn al-As. But just they are looking for an opportunity to make fitna. So they went and how do you talk to this? Now Khunais and some of his family tried to defend him, and Sa'id ibn al-As tried to stop it, but there was a big problem, and Sa'id ibn al-As was unable to control it at that time. And Banu Asad, who was the family of Khunais, they came and tried to support one of them, and it was nearly that there will be a war between Bani Asad and the other people who hate Khunais in that meeting. Sa'id, he managed to calm them down and said, we'll find a solution. So everything calmed down. And all this happened, narrated to Uthman radiallahu anhu. So he wrote to Sa'id ibn al-As, try your best to kill the fitna, because I can see it is started. And use your wisdom, use everything you can to kill the fitna. So Sa'id ibn al-As, he planned to kill the fitna as much as he can. they didn't stop there. So these people, the Khawarij, Al-Ashtar and Sa'sa'a and the others, they went to their houses and they started spreading rumors now, lies against Sa'id ibn al-As, against Uthman radiallahu anhu, against the people of Kufa. So the people of Kufa now, they were very upset because of their actions, and they asked Sa'id to punish them. Look, these people, they didn't respect you.